Lincoln Riley is heading into year 4 at USC, and while the results have been very mixed and not what USC thought was when they got Lincoln Riley originally to jump ship from Oklahoma, this could be the year that everything finally starts to turn around. Lincoln Riley has a career record of 81-24, but only a record of 26-14 entering year 4 at Southern California. Things have not gone well since he jumped ship, and USC is finally catching fire. On the recruiting trail, they're doing good. Seems to finally have some real NIL backing, which you really need if you're really going to compete at this level in Division I college football. And it seems like everyone around the program seems very confident about this offense heading into this season. Jaden Mayava is going into his first season as a full-time starter at USC. He started 4 games last year, had over 1,200 pass yards, 11 touchdowns. But he kind of did have an interception problem, throwing 6 picks in those 4 games. But with a full summer at USC after transferring in from UNLV, I think Jaden Mayava could be a really productive quarterback. No, he's not Caleb Williams, but who is Caleb Williams? That's a Heisman Trophy winner. But Jaden Mayava in this offense with Lincoln Riley, I think could be fun. And yes, they did lose Zachariah Branch in the transfer portal as he's off to Georgia. But this receiver room kept their 2 best wide receivers. USC returns Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon. And these guys are explosive. While yes, Zachariah Branch was the chess piece that can move anywhere, get the ball in his hands anywhere, and is the bigger name of the two to the most casual college football fan. But Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane are 2 better receivers. They both excellent route runners, can go over the top in the screen game, in the slant game, in the intermediates. They can do about everything. And with USC and this Lincoln Riley offense, it's always been everyone knows USC can score. That's never been the issue. It's going to come down to if Lincoln Riley is serious enough about the trenches and the defensive side of the ball. And it finally seems to be that he's turning a corner on this. They went out and got Keyshawn Silver from Kentucky, just added some more beef to that defensive line, which is much needed. They went and got Denton Lynn to be the DC, who's really going to help. There's the fundamentals of this defense, which they really lacked. And then they got Jamal Jarrett from Georgia, who once again is just adding beef to that front 7 on defense, which this team desperately needed. And they also got Jakeem Stewart in this past high school recruiting class, who, by all accounts, looked to be going to LSU. Lincoln Riley gets him the flip to come to Southern Cal. And again, just a chess piece for that defensive line, who they desperately needed to upgrade. And it really looks like Lincoln Riley went out, set a plan, and is adding to this defense. Well, in that first year, Caleb Williams running his hamstring while USC was very clearly on a road to the college football playoff. If that doesn't happen, we might be looking at Lincoln Riley's tenure a little bit different. But things happen. It's football. Injuries happen, and here we are. Playing in the Big Ten now, and going into the second season, you're not going to have an easy schedule. But their non-conference, USC should handle pretty well. You got Missouri State, Georgia Southern. That should be 2 easy wins for you, even though Georgia Southern is a stinky good G5 team. You got to Purdue, going to Indiana from California. Weird flight. You should be fine there. Then you have Michigan State. You're at Illinois, who's a sneaky good team this year. You got the bye, and then you got Michigan, that rivalry game at Notre Dame. Another bye, and then you have that home stretch of at Nebraska, against Northwestern, Iowa, at Oregon, and then UCLA. To me, you can squint and see a 10-win season, but I think realistically, USC's back in that 7-9 win area. USC is starting to put plans in place, though. They're starting to take football serious, because I don't think people didn't realize, unless you were really paying attention, USC and that administration, they weren't great in the NIL space. It just really seemed like that they were just okay, just existing. And you're USC. That should not be the case. You should be up there with the Georgias, Ohio States, Alabamas, Texas, Michigans. You should be up there, especially when your hated rival Notre Dame has really turned the corner with the Marcus Freeman hire. I think USC realistically finished at 8-9 wins, but I think it's an 8-9 wins where USC fans can go, there's finally a plan here, there's finally a future, and we should be back to being the USC that we should be. USC finally seems to be getting back to where they should be. Lincoln Riley seems to finally, after all these years, realizing you got to be able to tackle and you got to be able to play defense, especially now not being in the Pac-12 and being in the Big Ten. You got to stop the run. Yes, it is 2025, but running the football is still a fundamentals, and it's still a big-time thing in college football, and especially in the Big Ten. While no, I don't think USC is a college football playoff team this year, I do think they should be a fun watch. They should have a high-powered offense. Their defense should be much better than last year. They were only 14th in the Big Ten last year in sacks. They only had 21 tackles for losses all last season. That defense was just simply not good enough. And I think this year they're finally taking the step to put the pieces in place to have a good defense. And their offense, a Lincoln Riley offense, is always going to be fun. It's always going to put up points. I just think we're a year or two away from USC finally officially being back. We had all those conversations with Texas over the years about, is Texas back? Well, now it's really like that with USC, and I think we're a year or two away from that. But I think this is the year that they're finally laying the foundation for what this program should be under Lincoln Riley. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. What do you think USC's record will be at the end of this year? And do you think Lincoln Riley is the guy to get USC over the hump?